I'm doing a haul vid today, and I kind of noticed that I also don't haul some of my repurchases, so I thought I'm going to try to include my repurchases in haul videos too, so you can kind of know some of the stuff that I repurchased, because I'm really slack on the empties video where you'd also see some of my repurchases. So let me start off with those first. And I'll go ahead and swatch them too, even though you've probably heard me talk about them before, but I purchased another one of the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting powders in Blossom Glow. Love this. This is a dupe for the Dior Skin Nude Glow Air Luminizer in 002. And I actually found this in Walmart when I was in there last, so these have now hit the shelves in stores. And then the other one is the Maybelline Master Holographic, and this is in the shade 050. Does it have an actual name? Master Holographic 050. I've seen a few people talk about this and it's kind of not been spoke about very highly, but I actually really love it. I feel like the formula of this is very similar to the Kat Von D Metal Crush highlighter palette that came out, which I also really love. The thing about the formula on these guys is you have to really buff it into the skin to kind of get that effect, and they allow the skin to show through while remaining very shiny on top. There's very, very fine micro glitters in this, so if you're not into that, definitely won't like this. But I do have this on the top of my cheekbones today, and it just, you can see your skin through it, but it gives a really wet highlight shine to the top of the cheekbones, which I really love. The formula of this is not the same as like that. I think it's like a molten metal or gold version of that. That's more opaque and it doesn't have like the micro glitters in it. This one is more see-through and it does have some holographic sparkles in it. So let me go ahead and swatch those two so you can see them. I'll swatch my heavily used ones. So this is Blossom Glow from Wet n Wild. Gelée, baked gelée texture. I bet you guys are so sick of me talking about this because I mention it a lot. Super beautiful. This comes in other versions as well with that baked jelly texture and different that will suit different skin tones. And then here's 050. And like even in the swatch right there, you can tell it looks quite chunky. If you do not buff this into the skin when you put it on, it'll sit on top and it will remain looking kind of chunky. So there it is like swatched, but then when you buff it in, it's when it looks super pretty. Again, this is the 050 is what I have on my cheeks today, and I love it. And then I did purchase the backup of the Kat Von D Metal Crush highlighter palette. This is the backup version. Here is mine right here. There isn't a lot of product in here. The pans are 0.08 ounces a piece, which is a little bit smaller. I've hit pan on the center shade. I like to use all the shades. I'll like put this one on the top of my cheekbones because it's the lightest, and then I'll use these two kind of on the other points of my face sometimes. But I really like this formula. Again, it's not going to be for everybody because there's really fine micro glitters in it, but once you really buff it into the skin, you get that type of a wet look on the top of the cheekbones. I think this is very similar to that Maybelline one that I was talking about too, and because I hit pan on this so fast, I haven't been using this one quite as much because I was like, well, why not use the drugstore version? It's cheaper. So that's kind of why I've been digging into the Maybelline so much, but I did purchase another one of those as a backup. I also repurchased another bottle of the Josie Maran Argan Daily Moisturizer SPF 47. This is the 2-ounce bottle. I go through these way faster. I used to get the 4-ounce bottles when they were available, but now they only come in 2, and I feel like I've been repurchasing them a lot more. I just had, I think, 2 in my empties, and I've got one in my bathroom that's almost empty, and so I had to get another one. But I love this. I use it every single day as my daily moisturizer. SPF 47. It's got a mineral sunscreen in it too, so it's really nice on sensitive skin, and it's very, very hydrating. And I have really dry skin, so that works for me really well. If you have oily skin, it might be a little bit too much. But next up, Urban Decay had these 50% off on the Sephora website, so I thought I'd give one a try. I swatched them in stores before, but I just kind of didn't want to pay. I think they were $20-some or something like that. But anyway, I paid half price for it, and it's one of the Urban Decay Liquid Moondust eyeshadows, and I got the shade Chem, which is like a pearly champagne type of a color. I thought that I could try to use this as a topper, kind of how I use the Stila Glitter and Glow shadows. And let me give you a swatch right here. So I could just paint it on, or kind of put it on the lid like that, and then maybe just pat it over like this to give some nice shine. And I'm not sure if they're still on sale, but I kind of wish I would have picked up a couple more of them. So that's the shade Chem. Hourglass came out with new stick highlighters as well, and then I had a code to put in the little box on Sephora.com. So I got the one in Vanish. It's the Vanish Champagne Flash, and I thought it would just be good to kind of swatch it for you guys. I can tell there's It's got a slight silicone feel to it. Once you put it on the skin, it does kind of dry quickly. This is a champagne shade. It's borderline light enough for me, but what I thought I could do with it is kind of use it as a base underneath some other highlighters because I've been enjoying doing that lately. But I just want to swatch it because it's a new product and I got it in the mini. So that one is in the shade Champagne Flash. Then when I was standing in the checkout at Sephora, you know, they have the little aisles with all the aisle of temptation, if you will. And they had these guys in there. And I saw them before, but when I was standing there, I ended up finding the tester and swatching it. And I was like, that might look really pretty underneath like that Maybelline highlight or the Kat Von D palette. So I purchased it. It's the Milk Makeup Glitter Stick. And this has actually it's got glitter in it, but there's also, you know, there's the little round glitters or whatever, but there's also the little long type glitters in there, and they have a holographic shift to them. And I've used this as base for the Maybelline and the Kat Von D and a couple other highlighters. And if you want like a super intense, glowy glitter cheek, this underneath those highlighters will really give that effect. I don't have that one on today. I actually have the Milk Makeup holographic stick underneath the Maybelline one today for what's on the top of my cheeks, but I've used this a couple times so far. I'm a little leery of cream products sometimes because I get little dots on my cheekbones, and that happened to me. I was able to finally get the glitter, the Cover FX glitter drops to work. I had to be very delicate with them, which when I'm using products, I don't necessarily like to have to work very hard to get them to look good, you know what I mean? So anyway, what had happened was I got it to look decent on the cheeks, and then I noticed it was giving me little bumps on the top of my cheekbones, and I was like, that's it, that's enough. It's super pretty, but it's hard to make it work, and it also gives me little bumps on my cheeks, so I'm taking it back to the store. So I kind of replaced it with the idea of using the Milk one, and I've actually used this one. I think I've used it for the last 4 or 5 days in a row, and the top of my cheekbones are fine, so I'm pretty excited about it. So let me swatch it. How I use it is I just roll it on the back of my hand, just like I'm gonna do right now. I just go like this with it. And then I take a beauty blender and put it on there, and then I pounce it on the skin, and it doesn't pick up my makeup, which is, it makes it easier to use for a cream product. So that is what it looks like. Let's blend it out a little bit. This one does have quite a bit of hydration to it. So if you put too much on and then try to blend powder over it, it might slide a little bit. So you got to be a little bit careful not to be too heavy-handed with it because it has, like I said, a lot of hydration. But it's super pretty, and there's some really pretty holographic glitters in it. And there's so much product in here, you could just like slather it everywhere. But I see green, blue, purple. There's several different colors of glitters inside of there, and it's super pretty on the top of the cheeks, especially with like a powder highlighter over it. Nowadays I'm just like, give me all the glitter, just put all the glitter on everywhere. Definitely not something that everybody likes, but I happen to. So and then I was in Ulta, and I had a 20% off coupon that they mailed out, so I jumped on the 2 new, I think, are these part of the spring collection? I don't think so. I think there's another collection that came out that has some blue colors too, in the Stila Glitter and Glow, what are they called exactly? Liquid eyeshadows. I want to grab those ones too, but I purchased the shade Wanderlust and Gypsy. There was the Bronzed Belle shade they were kind of promoting with these two as well, but I got that one a couple months ago off of, where did I get it? I got it somewhere. Anyway, months ago. So that one kind of came out earlier than these ones, but I love these eyeshadows. I like to top them over kind of corresponding metallic type shades to just really make them pop. So this first one is Wanderlust, and it's kind of like a champagne with some gold and pink glitters in it. It's a super stunning shade. Wanderlust. And then the other one is Gypsy, and it's a purpley pink with some, there is some gold and pink glitters in it. Again, it's a really pretty color. It almost has like that grayish purple vibe to it. So that's Gypsy, and that one is Wanderlust from the Stila Glitter and Glow. Then I also purchased the L'Oreal Color Riche Shine Lipstick. And I don't typically purchase L'Oreal lipsticks, but I kind of went out on a limb with this guy and was hoping that it didn't have, I don't know, something about it made me kind of like think that it wasn't going to have that typical like classic L'Oreal perfume smell. And these ones don't. It has like a light fruity type of a smell to it. It's what I have on my lips today. It's a sheer super shiny lipstick. The formula is quite thin, so when you put it on, you can kind of feel the hydration to it. So far, I've really been enjoying it. This is the color, again, 910 Shimmering Peach, and it's what I have on my lips today. Again, they have a more slick texture to them, but they're very, very shiny. I should put some more on so you guys can see the shine. But I think because it's so easy to put on and use, I think I'm going to grab one or two other shades of this, because there was a couple other shades in the line that I thought looked enticing. I just wasn't sure about the scent, and these ones don't have that scent, so I'm super excited about it. I have a L'Oreal lipstick. This next product kind of surprised me. I saw it and kind of impulse bought it in Sephora, and I almost bought it when Tarte was having their sale like a month ago because it was on the Tarte website, and then I saw it in person, swatched it, and I didn't have a coupon or anything like that, but I just was like, instant gratification. So I went ahead and bought it. This is the Tarte Foil Finger Paints Shadow Palette. The packaging is super pretty. These actually look like real turquoise nuggets on the top, which is, it's pretty cool. It's totally textured type of packaging, but I kind of haven't been this excited about a Tarte eyeshadow palette for quite some time. I wasn't sure how it would go on, but I've used it both with my fingers and a brush, and I was surprised that, like, I used the Goss 18. This is what I have on the lids of my eyes today, and I used the Goss 18 on these two shades, and then I put a little bit of that silver glitter on top too. So that's that really shiny stuff that you see on the lid there. And the brush worked really well. It works really good with a finger too. They have like a creamed texture to them, which made me think that it wasn't going to pick up that well with a brush, but I'm happy to report that they do. These are super, super pretty. These three shades right here have the same type of consistency to them, while these two are more full of glitter. It's like a glitter in a very sheer, like tacky base. But when I use this, I just kind of tap my brush on top and then tapped it over one of these shadows. Let me swatch these. These are really pretty. Again, I was surprised that I was able to pick them up with a brush so well. Not like a fluffy one, it was a flat shader. Aren't those pretty? So I've got these two shades on my lid today. And then I put this silver over the top. And like, I'm just kind of going like that a little bit. I don't want to mix that. And this one actually is a little bit more gritty than the silver one, but so there is the silver, and then there's the other one. It's kind of got a yellow duochrome to it. That didn't swatch very well. The glitter's kind of sticking to my finger there, but it's kind of a topper type of shade. And then here's the other one. Those don't swatch worth a dang. But tapped over these other shades, with these two shades tapped over one of these other ones, it's really pretty. Then I got this little guy on sale at Sephora online. It's the Sephora Winter Flush Blush Palette, and I think I've seen it on there still, so I'm just going to go ahead and swatch it for you guys. It's got 4 pretty blushes in there. These two shades are my favorite out of there. Let's just go ahead and swatch it. You can make a matte, or you can mix it in with the shimmer to put some shimmer finish in there. But it was just a pretty little blush palette. And then Beautylish recently launched a new brush line with Sonia G, who I've followed on Instagram and kind of visited back and forth with for quite a few years now, and she is a makeup brush connoisseur. She's got an entire room, like studio, with just makeup brushes in it. And so she came out with her own line. They are Japanese natural hair brushes, and originally I was going to purchase the whole collection, but there's 8 brushes and it was like 360 some bucks, and I was like, ugh. It was kind of a stiff one to have to pull the trigger on that one. And there was a couple brushes in there that I know that I just don't typically use brushes like that. So I wasn't sure. And then she posted on Instagram that she was going to be selling them individually. So I'm glad that I waited, and I got 3 of them individually. 2 are the same because I just knew that I would love this brush. And it is the Worker 1. I purchased 2 of them because I knew I was going to love it. And this here is just a great blending brush through the crease. I've actually packed on stuff on the lid with it too, because it's kind of got a little bit of a flatness, but it's still fluffy enough to blend. And the attention to detail on here and the prettiness, the heavily lacquered handle, these are some stunning brushes. So this one is the Worker 1. Think something super, super soft and a little bit thicker, fluffier, and bigger than a MAC 217. But again, the lacquer on the handle says Sonia G right there. I'll link her Instagram account down below so you can check her out, but these were sold on Beautylish. And the other brush that I got is the Face 2, and I used this on my face today to kind of bronze up, and it worked really well. Super, super soft brush here. So this is the Face 2 brush. Look at that handle though. It's just beautiful. These are some beautiful brushes. I think there are 2 more in the line that I want to get. I do want that big fan brush just because it looks so pretty, and then the little fan brush. And now that I got this eye brush, I kind of want to try out the bigger kind of crease brush too from the line. But super, look at these. These are beautiful. Then every once in a while I get a little PR package from Givenchy, and this last one included 3 of their gloss Interdit vinyl glosses. And Givenchy actually makes one of my favorite setting powders, the Prisme Libre. I love that powder for setting foundation, BB cream, and then I also love their waterproof Kohl Couture eyeliners. I've been through I think 3 full size of the green. It's called Jade, which is what I have on my lower lash line today. Again, one of my favorite eyeliners for the waterline. It stays really well, and I have really sensitive eyes. These don't irritate them at all. So anyway, these are the glosses that they sent. They sent 3 shades, so I thought it would be good just to swatch them for you guys. I'm not a big gloss wearer, so I anticipate my mom eyeballing some of these. So this first one is 09. This is what the packaging looks like. This is the one out of the 3 that looks like I'd probably wear this guy. They've got a nice amount of color to them. They smell like anything? They have a slight sweet smell. I've got stuff on though. I kind of want to put this on. They smell really good. And I just noticed on the applicator, the bottom, it's a G. So that's 090. And then the next one is number 16. This one looks a lot scarier in the tube than it actually swatches. This one's a little bit more sheer. And I think, let me read here, but I think that these kind of adjust color tone and stuff like that with one of those pH type of things that adjust when you put them on the skin. So that dark grayish one is number 16. Well, here, I can just read it right off the card. Mother of pearl and polymer for brilliance. Black rose oil for moisture. Ooh, that entices me because I like to use a lip oil while I'm doing like my face makeup and eye makeup, because the lipstick is the last thing that I do, so I like to put a conditioning something on my lips before I put on lipstick. So these might actually be good for that. But anyway, Absolute Color Complex for color purity. Eosin in shades 116.3 for custom color that reacts to pH. Okay, so there are other shades in the range according to the card, but it looks like the 3 that were sent are the 3 that react to pH. I don't think the other ones do. So anyway, this shade, the last shade, is number 12, and it is a red. One thing I noticed is when I pull the applicator out, it's kind of stringy, and like when I first did it, like a gloop of it fell on my arm. So this one is number 12. Whoa, that's pretty intense right there. Oh, these smell really good. So that one's number 12. And then lastly, I purchased 2 palettes from the Urban Decay and Kristen Leanne launch. I got these at Ulta again with that 20% off coupon. And I'm wearing this palette. I wonder if this one has a name. It's called Daydream. The Daydream eyeshadow palette with that Tarte palette on my eyes today. And I'm kind of hit or miss with Urban Decay, like matte eyeshadows. But this guy here, I've worn it 3 times so far, and I have had like 0 problems blending. I have had fallout with it because they are a little bit dusty, but the pigmentation is good and they blended really well for me. So there are 5 matte eyeshadows in here, and they're all kind of a warm shade. And the packaging is really pretty. It is cardboard. There's a double-ended synthetic brush in there too. But let's go ahead and swatch these. Again, I've worn this quite a few times, and I haven't always had the best luck with Urban Decay mattes, like the Nude Basics palettes. A lot of people love them. Those just do not work out for me at all. So I'm happy that these worked. Those 3. And then these guys. They're pretty smooth. So that is the Urban Decay and Kristen Leanne Daydream eyeshadow palette right there. And then the other palette is the Kaleidoscope Dream eyeshadow palette. And in this guy here, these are all different sizes. There's 2 that are 0.05 ounces, 2 at 0.02 ounces, 4 at 0.04 ounces, and you've got 1 at 0.03 ounces and 1 at 0.01 ounce. So the amount of size that you're getting per shadow varies quite a bit in this guy. The layout on this one is, it's different. I appreciate it when somebody tries to do something a little outside of the norm, which this is. I know some people are like, what the heck is going on with the layout? I personally, like I said, I appreciate the attempt to be, you know, different in terms of how the shadows are laid out. But I hope Urban Decay kind of sticks to this new type of formula that they've been coming out with, because they're really nice. Like I said, I haven't had the best of luck with their mattes, but that Daydream palette, it went on really pretty. Again, it's what I have on my eyes today. But so here is the palette right here. There is a double-ended synthetic brush in there too, with a blender and kind of a little smudger. And then this split shade right here has got, this side is a duochrome with blue, like a blue shift, and then this side has like a pink shift to it. So I'll just go like, see once, right down the center. And then this gold, and this purple. I wore this purple yesterday. But, see once. You can kind of see the split, right? Here's the gold, the purple. Get a better swatch of that purple. There are only 2 mattes in here, and that's the black and the orange. This green. That black is super dark. Super, super black eyeshadow. This green one. Oh, that green. It's a pretty color. Yep, that is a very black eyeshadow. And then these blue shades. Purple. Oh, this purple feels quite gritty. But she's pigmented. That blue. I haven't worn the blues yet, but that aqua blue is like calling me. I can feel these ones here have a thicker texture to them. These 3 right here. $50, there's dimethicone in there. But I wasn't sure what to expect, but I'm glad that I purchased these 2 palettes because they're really pretty. So that is the Kristen Leanne Kaleidoscope palette. So that's all for my haul today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.